All right, and we are live. Good morning, everyone. Pontip Molding here. And now I can tell that I'm from Brisbane, Australia. Just recently moved here. So welcome, everyone. And thank you so much for the panelists who attend to, this morning broadcast. And this is live on YouTube as well as we speak. So it's stream live right now. And for those who attend, thank you so much for sharing your valuable time with us. And I know your time is valuable, so we just gonna, get straight to the point of why we are here today. So welcome everybody. And I would like to ask the audience who attend the broadcast right now, have you got any marketing questions, the burning questions that you may have? So you need our support to get your business unstuck at all. Anyone can just unmute yourself and go free today. Yes, Edith?
Hold up, I'm muting. Hey, yes, the only question, how are you guys? Good to see you all.
Good.
The only question I have is, I am about to start with the webinars. I have collected a lot of audience. I'm doing the posting, the Facebook group and all that. I need good people to come on and share and teach, and you know that. So what do I do? How do I do that? Should I send you guys an invite and wait when you send me back on when you're free, or how do I do it? And I'm in Hungary, but I would like to do it on American time. Mostly people in Florida and people up in Toronto and that area. That's where my people are.
Yep.
So when I pick somebody, when I really like somebody, when I look up to somebody, how do I do that? How do I approach that person? Just send a message, hey, would you?
Yes.
That's all?
So basically, to answer your great questions, actually, really good question, because our industry here is a leadership business model. Right? So to attract the one, you got to be the one. So to respond to your question about setting up webinar and that, this is the best strategies that all marketers must learn and do. And that setting up webinar, you want to invite your special guest, like what I've done. This is exactly I do I do what I do. I don't just talk the talk. I do everything that I share here. And so basically you build relationship with the leaders in the industry. Don't have to be inside your company. You can reach out, go as high as you can, go as far as you can, reach out and build the relationship with them. Yeah. And then
it's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
You need to learn to have the people skills. So when you have the people skills, people will like you. You know that they like your emotion. They like your vibration, your energy. You got to basically be very friendly with people and don't share your really bad days to people. Never do that.
Nah, you don't have no bad days. I know.
Yeah, have be the person that brighten up the room when you walked in to anywhere, and your organization will grow from there, and the leaders will also look at you as part of their circle because you always brighten up their day. Compliment them, compliment their work and their success, and even promote them or share them to the audience of you.
Yeah, I spoke to Ari this afternoon. I reached out and I talked to Ari, and he's just so down to earth. He's so cool. He's so easy to connect. He's just such a nice guy.
Yeah. That's just simple, small strategies that I can give you. So I can also gonna interview our panelists here who also gonna share their tips and strategies to help you out as well. So hold that thought.
Okay.
We're just gonna move on to the next person. Andrew, you have any question? Tyrene? Welcome, Tyrene. Who else here? I just gonna go to multiple screen. Oh, wow, we got quite a few people. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Eduardo. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for showing up. With Eduardo, I've been looking forward to working with you. Thank you. And who else here? Sana, hello.
Hi.
Who else? I think I cover everyone and CV and Sammy. Yes, all right. So I would like to start with how about Jamie? Come on, man. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background before the Millionaire Mentoring program.
All right, so hey everyone, Jeremy. I'm from New Zealand, but I live in the Philippines. I've been living in Asia for a long time. I actually used to live in Ponpon's most beautiful country for a long time, in Thailand there. Okay, so my background is I was a boss on oil rigs. I was a tool pusher, driller on oil rigs all over the world. I worked in the Middle East, Australia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, sort of all over. And one day I kind of woke up and thought that I wanted to try something.
Jeremy frozen for a minute.
My screen's frozen. Oh, sorry guys, my screen froze here. The
No
beauty of living in Philippines. Yeah, so I used to be a boss on oil rigs. I worked all over the world. I woke up one day just thinking I needed a change. I realized that if I worked on the oil rigs till I was 50 or 60 years old, I was going to spend 70% of my life in the middle of the ocean or the desert or in the jungle. And I just thought I wanted to try something else. And a friend of mine had just started online. We didn't know what we were doing. We joined 3 different companies, got scammed all 3, and I lost about 22,000 US dollars. Never made a sale, never brought anyone into my business or anything out of all those 3 businesses. I was following a couple of ladies from New Zealand who were making $10,000-$15,000 a month using the Black Ops system, and they were stay-at-home mums, and I was like, wow, if they can do this, and why can't I? So I was living about 8 hours north of here. I messaged Ari because I've been following Ari as well. I messaged Ari and said, if I make the trip down from Baguio, would you meet up with me? And we met just down here, about 100 meters away, down at TGI Fridays. And we got on really well straight away. And he sort of said, "Yeah, man, if you wanna do this, I'll help you out." And because this was like my last chance. It was like, this is the last chance to learn. I was like, either do this or go back to work. And I mean, one of the reasons I quit was they told me they wanted me to go to either Saudi, Kazakhstan, or Kuwait, and I was like, don't really want to go to any of those countries anymore. So this was like the last chance that I had, really, and I was kind of like out of cash. I hadn't worked for about a year, and I was still living life like I was on the rig, so the savings had dwindled, and I came down, ended up moving here. Ari actually lives about 200 meters away. And I mean, my first 3 weeks, I made about $8,000, and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And and I kind of, old habits die hard, and I kind of went off the rails a little bit. Young guy living in Manila, parties a little bit, and then, but yeah, I got back on track, and now I can grow multiple businesses at the same time using the exact techniques that we use in Black Ops. And I mean, what's great about it is I've found that when people come, like if you've been following me on my wall, I had a couple of people join me just last week, and I've already made 2 sales each. And that's because like what we do is like, it's possible, it's duplicatable. Like what we do, we can show other people. It's no real secret. Like we can show other people. And as long as they're willing to learn, they're coachable, and they go and implement it, they can do the exact same thing. And it's kind of funny because, like, looking at this call, I use your story, Pon, and Samuel's story a lot, because they're very, very inspirational stories. And I share your stories quite a bit. I mean, I don't know, I won't say too much because I don't know if everyone knows your story, Pon, but like, you know, you had a thing, and Samuel, I mean, he was making loaves of bread this big apparently. I don't know who buys bread that big, but but the you know, they're great stories, and all I want to say is, like, if anyone's following any of our successes, it's totally duplicatable. You know, it's what Ari and Darren have taught us is exactly what they do. I mean, I've sat in Ari's office, like, I mean, I went to Ari's for Christmas, right? Like, that's how close me and Ari are. Like, on Christmas Day, I had Christmas dinner with Ari. So I've sat in his office working on my laptop while he's been working and stuff, and I see that exactly what him and Darren do is exactly what they teach us. They're not keeping any secrets for themselves and things like that. So it's been pretty life-changing for me. I still get job offers once or twice a month, and I'm able to turn them down knowing that I can make a full-time income online these days. So it's been life-changing for me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your life journey, you know, from working in the long hours and quite isolated in the rig, isn't it? To become an online entrepreneur. And that's a dream of many people. So thank you so much for sharing that and inspirational stories. Now, before I move on to the next special guest, I would like to ask the audience here that why you consider online entrepreneur as your pathway. Who would like to share their story with me? The audience who just starting out or our new members in the Millionaire Mentoring. Anyone? A bit shy?
I can share mine. I can share mine.
Go for it.
It's very upside down though, because I have signed up for Black Ops a year back, or maybe even more so. And I really was in it just for the money. I just wanted to make money. Easy money, fast money, whatever, done. Didn't work. Couldn't do it. I just couldn't get myself to do it. I couldn't do any Facebook Lives. My stomach was always in the nut, always thinking about, oh my God, what think people are going to think about me? Oh my God, I probably look stupid. I have no hair done, my makeup, and stuff like that. So what happened to us is about 4 months back, my daughter and I became homeless. And that has been a lot of trauma before, and been through a lot and all that. Came home back to Hungary, and I realized that we have been through so much. We're still here. We have such a beautiful bond between us. I need to share. I need to help people. I need them to know that it don't matter how much you mess up. We all do. But there is a road ahead. So what I did, I opened the group, this Facebook group, you know, personal development group, just to really, truly to help. And a couple of weeks back, I'm thinking, wait a minute, isn't it what I was supposed to do when I was in Black Ops? Duh. So let's go on and let's do it. So the whole thing just kind of turned around for me, and I'm not worried about anything about it, or I'm not stressed about going on Facebook Lives. I'm not stressed about sharing my story, and I really don't care who thinks I'm what. If it resonates with you, if you're in the same vibration with me, let's go. If you don't want to go, then join. And I'm really, really happy with that. I think I'm in a great spot right now. That would be me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
I was once very similar to that in the financial, you know, negative world that I was in, and now it's getting heaps better now. But back then, boy, it was horrid. Before I share my very own story, I would like to invite our guest speaker today, Mini Mini Mo, Eduardo. Welcome on stage. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Portland. Thanks for inviting me tonight.
So grateful you are here, and I've been, you know, trying to work with you for a while, and then just never have that good chance of getting together with you. So grateful today. So please about your background and why you turn into the online successful entrepreneur these days and before the Millionaire Mentoring and after.
Yeah, so I kind of want to go through the background quickly. So because I want to share some value and strategies as well. But basically, I started this whole journey 2 years ago. And at the time, I was just going to college, pursuing something I didn't even like. I was just doing it because that's what your parents tell you to do, society, teachers, just conditioned that go to school, get a job, follow that path, right? And, I was always good in school. So that was my goal. And I'm from another country. I'm from Mexico. So that's kind of what's expected of you if you come into the US to go to school and succeed there. So when I moved to Orlando, where I'm living now currently, everything started to change for me. I started getting into the mindset of, there has to be another way. You just can't work for 40 years and that's life, right? There has to be more than that. So I started getting into Think and Grow Rich, right? That was the book that really changed my whole mindset. The Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, and just really started diving into personal development and really looking at the world differently. And one thing led to another, right? It's funny how the universe unfolds these things to you. And because of those books, I was able to come across people in the online marketing world at the time. And, I made a huge decision at the time to, am I going to do, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to, like Napoleon Hill says, like you burn all your ships and there's no going back, right? Because I feel like you have to have that immense, like almost like you're almost like backed up against the wall. Like you have no other choice but to succeed. And I feel like a lot of people, when they start online marketing or, any type of business, they don't have sometimes that big push, right? They still have a job or some sort of security. So to them, it's not a priority. They have something to fall back on. So for me, I'm like, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to, I'd rather do this and not have any regrets. So I left college. I left my youth scholarship and I pursued this full time. And guys, it was not an easy thing. A lot of times people try to make it seem like online marketing or work from home, it's like the easiest thing in the world, that you don't have to do anything. It's done for you, whatever. And, being at the time, I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any business experience, marketing experience. Like I jumped to the first thing that I saw, which was a high ticket company. And, to my surprise, it was a big, now it was, I feel like it was meant to be there. But at the time, I'm like, what did I get myself into? And what you have to realize is that there's no real shortcut to success or to make this work for you. I thought, a lot of times they tell you that all you have to do is drive traffic to your website. Like the system is 99%, automated or something crazy like that. And the fact of the matter is that, while that may be true, right? Like some of these top marketers, 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners in the industry, they're able to do that or automate, their whole business because they have the capital to do that, right? But somebody starting off brand new and giving them false hopes, right? To kind of like make 6 figures in 6 months by just sending traffic to a website. It's almost like selling them a pipe dream. And that's what I kind of fell into in the beginning. But through that process, I feel like I had to go through that process to lead me where I am now, because if it wasn't for that, I would have not been able to come across Millionaire Mentoring or even the whole online marketing industry or met all the people that I know now. So it's funny how things had to unfold that way. And, long story short, like fast forward to not even a year ago, I came across Millionaire Mentoring. And, that's when everything changed for me, because prior to Millionaire Mentoring, I wasn't focused on developing myself as a leader. Like, guys, I didn't speak on camera. I did not do webinars. I didn't call people like at all. I didn't make any connections, right? I was just taught that all you have to do is drive traffic, spam your links everywhere, right? So that was the big change for me, the personal development, besides everything else, I think, because, marketing, anyone can learn marketing. It's like a job, right? if you do it long enough, you will get it eventually. But the personal development side, that's really where what's going to make or break you in this business. And I didn't realize that at the time. I was focusing on learning and learning marketing, all these things. But when I started focusing really, really deeply on personal development, actually not just reading, right, or watching videos, but actually doing the stuff that helps you grow or step out of your comfort zone, that's when things really started to change for me. Like I had people from the previous company come to me and ask me, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you on? Like, what kind of pill are you on? And that's when I started to attract higher quality people in the business, because they saw my growth, my evolution during this process. And now I'm getting people like constantly messaging me daily, like, what is it that you do? Like, can you help me with this? Like, it's crazy, it's bizarre, because once you start, you take yourself out of the picture and start focusing on how can I help people, right? How can I help them solve their problem? Instead of, you know, what's in it for me? How can I make money like today, right? Because I don't know, like I feel like the energy you give off, it's what's gonna come back to you. And if you come across that vibration of just, you know, me, what's in it for me, people can sense that. And you know, that's why a lot of times people, you know, get rejected, they get told no. And recently, just this past weekend, I attended an Abraham Hicks webinar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them. Yeah, porn tip. But what I learned, you know, something that really resonated with me was that everything that you guys are experiencing right now is preparing you for this exact moment. Like right now is the perfect time to really make the decision to change your life, because all those, you know, you might think like all those past failures, all those past bad experiences, all that debt, you know, whatever it is that you're facing right now, it's all there for a reason, right? People are going to resonate with your story, and you're going to inspire them how you overcame it, right? So all that negative stuff that you think, you know, why is it happening to me? It's actually happening for you. It's meant to be in there for a reason. You know, if you truly have faith in whatever you believe in, right? It's you have to think about it like it's all there. It's always working out for you. But what I would say is, you know, something that you might not consider that it's as important, right? Because we are in like online marketing, network marketing, well, you know, whatever. I feel like a big part of it, like for me personally, a reason why I could not take action, or I knew the things that I had to do, but I didn't do them, was because my mindset was not there. And you have to really, you know, what Darren talks about all the time, you know, before it didn't hit me before in my head, but until recently, you have to really love yourself and really feel that you're worthy of success and actually do the things he tells you guys. Because honestly, you know, I would be like, okay, yeah, like affirmations, whatever, personal development. But it wasn't until I actually started doing these things that, you know, some bizarre reason, like I started attracting people into my business, started getting sales. It just goes to show you that there is an invisible side to this business, guys, and it's there. And until you tap into that, into your personal power, into your personal growth, that everything else will follow. Like you'll start actually doing the work, you'll start actually doing the things that you need to do, and you're going to come across the right people that are going to be able to help you. So the people that are watching this now, you're here for a reason, right? Somehow you came to this webinar and now you're listening to all these stories. And you're at a point right now where you can either, you know, choose to go back to the things you were doing and, you know, maybe they weren't working out for you, or you can make the choice to, you have the solution, right? And make that choice to change your life for the better. But
absolutely. So this is great advice, and it's so true that, you know, there is invisible part of this journey that we all face, because the things that unwritten rules, unwritten the practices that we have to do, right? And then that comes with the wisdom. It comes with the wisdom. The more you apply the knowledge and skills in real life, it actually show up in your face that this is the thing that you got to do, and it's not in the book. You have to learn the journey. Like the success is not a straight line. It's go sideways, it's go ups and down and hit rock bottom at times. You might be achieving $100,000 today. Tomorrow you might go back to zero. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to...
May I say something?
Pardon?
May I just say something for a second?
Yes.
But if you don't think about money, if you just think about the personal development side, when you have those reactions back from the people that you lifted them and they moved out of their comfort zone and they're stuck and you see them and they're just going on, and that just gives you such a high, such a rush that there's no way but to go. You got to go. You need more of that, you know?
Yep, you're right. And it's not all about the cha-ching, the sound, right? So thank you so much, Edwardo and Edith. Thank you so much, and very valuable advice there. And I hope we all take notes or jot down in here and make sure that you reflect to whatever the leaders are saying, because they've done it, they've been there. They go through the hurdles and then they get back up, so, and then they succeed. So other people, our brand new entrepreneurs can learn a lot from this as well. So I would like to move to our next guest. He lives life in the paradise right now. And he show off his white sands and beaches. And got a beautiful partners in the beautiful scenery. Who wouldn't be jealous at our leader? Siwi, come on out. Say hello.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks for that introduction, Pon. Very nice, very nice. Yes, it's true. I do live in Boracay, and actually my buddy Jeremy, who was just on, I hear he's moving to Boracay soon. Hey, we're going to be hanging out at the beach together, man. That's awesome. Okay, before I get into this Black Ops little spiel, let me just say one thing about living in paradise, okay, everybody? The grass is always greener. Always remember that, please. I can be a living testament that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, okay? People see my Facebook, my friends live at home, it's snowing, right? People in the network marketing world, the internet marketing world see my posts from the beach and stuff. Yes, we do live in paradise, but there's also a very dark side to where we live, right? I don't know if you follow the news in the Philippines, but it's a militant state right now. We're surrounded by the army, all right? The tourism numbers are down, our businesses are failing, it chokes me up just thinking about it. We've been here 7 years now, and it is paradise, but there's also very dark parts to it. And those dark parts are actually what led me to work online. The reason that I moved online at all was because they closed our island here. They shut off the cash flow to all of our businesses. My wife and I are both involved in hospitality, right? We're managers of hotels. We consult for nightclubs and restaurants and things. And when they literally closed tourism. We had no choice but what to do. Didn't know what to do. So I went online to try to figure out how to make money online, because I've always had a dream of the laptop lifestyle, or wanting to learn how to generate money from anywhere in the world, right? I love to travel. We love to do, all sorts of spontaneous things, but I want to be able to earn money while I'm doing my spontaneous things, right? Plus I needed added income based on our situation here. So I went online about a year ago, a little less than a year ago now. And the way I started was a lot like how a lot of people start, right? I came on, I got completely overwhelmed by all the technical things that go on, right? All these new terms that I had no idea about. I was completely lost. I have stacks of papers and stuff all over my office. It was an absolute mess, right? I ended up getting into some programs that had absolutely no value whatsoever. They didn't offer any value to anybody who came into them. They were just money machines, or so I believed they were money machines. Looking back on it, I realized they were money machines, but not for me. Okay. So I would buy into these programs and I would run traffic like everyone says. I'd pull out my credit card, I'd run some solo ads, I'd run some traffic. And I wasn't getting the sales, and I just didn't understand why it wasn't working for me. I was under the assumption that everybody I saw online was, becoming a millionaire, basically. I was like, well, everybody's making a ton of money. Why aren't I making any money? Right. And then, as time progressed, the island situation didn't get any better. Right. And my internet business was actually failing also. So that put me into a bit of a downward spiral. Now, I'm not the kind of person to get sad and depressed very often, okay? But I've never been in that state before in my life. I've never sat at home crying about my finances, thinking about what am I doing with my life? How did I find myself in this position, right? Because I was in a position I'd never been in before. No income, I had to liquidate my assets. I had to sell shares in my companies. And all of a sudden I was sitting in the Philippines, in a third world country that's beautiful, yes, with massive bills and no revenue. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Where am I? How did I get here? So the internet business was also failing. Like I said, I was struggling. All of a sudden, I bump into a couple of people, right? Darren and Ari. I bump into these guys. And, it took me not very long to realize that there was something different about the way they were approaching their teams, right? The way they were approaching their online business, the way they were approaching life in general, right? It was a breath of fresh air for me. So I jumped into Millionaire Mentoring, and honestly, within the first day of totally, as soon as you jump in, there's trainings and things to go through, and they pretty much reprogram your mind, along with the personal development stuff and the mindset stuff and the business stuff. They reprogram the way you think because, majority of us are thinking incorrectly when it comes to this business. We've been taught the wrong things. Or not taught anything at all, right? So within the first day, I already made my first $1,000. Now, this was something that absolutely changed everything in my perspective. Like my whole reality just warped because I was like, oh my God, I just made $1,000 from a computer. Like, did that really just happen? I had to check my bank account like 5 times to make sure I wasn't in a dream, really. So I went directly to the bank. I took that money out and I put it directly into one of my debts, okay? I even took a picture of it and I posted it on my Facebook, and I was like, look at guys, it doesn't get more real than this. I've been doing this for 10 hours and I'm already at the bank fixing my debt, right? I got a long ways to go, believe me, but that was a good first step. Okay. So that was day one, right? And now for me, that was about 3.5 months ago now, 3 months ago, 3.5 months ago. And since then, I can say honestly, and this is no fluff, I'm not fluffing this. I have no reason to lie or fluff about my emotions. They've completely changed my life. My life is in a whole different space than it was before, right? I've stepped into my power stronger than I ever have. I've actually taken off the mask that I used to wear, right? A lot of people wear a mask in life. And when you come online, you really wear a mask because you feel like you need to fit a certain mold to attract a certain person. But what they taught us, what they taught me, is that you need to be yourself, right? And you need to be the best version of yourself. And the best way to be the best version of yourself is like what everybody keeps saying, work on the personal development side, right? And the personal development side, they guide us on this journey because they've been on the personal development journey for decades, okay? I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Darren, he was walking on fire with Tony Robbins before Tony Robbins was on the internet and cool. Like before everybody knew about Tony Robbins, Darren was at the seminars, flying out there and meeting the guy and talking to him about personal development and growth. These are the kind of mentors that you need to surround yourself with to put yourself in the right frame of mind to do whatever it is in your life, right? I say this all the time. Millionaire Mentoring and Black Ops and all this stuff that we do, this is not make money online. It's not. It is in a sense, yes, but you take these skills offline, just like everyone was talking about and we were talking about earlier. You apply this to your life, right? You apply this to your marriage, with your kids, with your offline businesses, literally with everything. It changes you as a human inside if you take the training to heart and you actually go through the steps in the process. So when you can do that offline, and when it changes the way you think, you apply that online, right? Using the free strategies that they teach us, the blueprints that they give us, you apply that, and all of a sudden you start attracting like-minded people that are like you on your journey, right? Just like Jeremy alluded to earlier about people, Eduardo said, people are attracted to your story and they're inspired by it, right? And that's so true. And you can't do it unless you're working on yourself and you take off your mask. And I promise you, if you do that, you will attract business partners that are just like you, right? People that are on that journey, people that you can lead and help them grow, right? And then the really beautiful part is the next step, right? And I'm just getting there now, right? Like guys that have been in this game for a while, Samuel, you, Pon, you know, you guys have been doing this a while and you're excellent at it. You're amazing leaders and you already have team duplication a couple levels deep, right? Like you bring someone in, you teach them, they learn, then they bring someone, then they bring, and you're cultivating this family around you of like-minded individuals that you're coaching and they're coaching and they're coaching. And I'm just starting to get into that space where like the guys that I'm leading are now leading people. And when you see that happen, it does something to your soul that just makes you happy, right? So not only do you start making money and not only are you learning and growing yourself, but when you see other people influenced by your actions, that uplifts you even more, right? So I can say simply, no matter where you are now, okay, we've all been there or worse, okay? We've all been there or worse, for sure. There's people in Black Ops that have been in the worst situations you can even think of, okay? And they pull out of it, and they climb, and they prosper, and they flourish, and they're abundant now and happy people, right? So I just want you to know simply, this is not just a make money online team, okay? This is a life team. These are friends for life. And I'm just blessed to be here and it's amazing. So thanks for having me, Pon.
Thank you so much, Sivid. A very valuable story that you share here. And it's so moved, you know, from hit rock bottom like you did and to just get up, move forward and succeed like you are now. It's really, really inspiring to myself and I'm sure to the audience as well. So grateful you're here. And thank you so much for that. And congratulations too.
It's fun. Can I just jump in real quick? I just Vicky just jumped in my on the side here. I'm sorry to put her on the spot, but Vicky joined us just last week and has already had some success. I don't know if you want to maybe get the view of someone who's only been in it for 1 week, but she's already having some amazing success. Sorry, Vicky, to put you on the spot, but I just seen you pop up on my on the side there. But I mean, it might be nice for people to get a perspective of someone who was already pretty successful in network marketing, and then they've come in here and seen why it's so different. And she's already had success with her first couple of sales in a week. So I don't know if Vicky wants to speak, but it might be good to get a perspective of someone who's a week in. You know,
I'm so honored. I'm so honored to have you here, Vicky. And thanks, Jeremy, for pointing that out. And if you don't mind, sharing about your journey and why you chose to become part of our community.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pon. I'm so excited to be here. And I'm looking forward to meeting you tomorrow face to face and having lunch. How exciting. So I'm very, very lucky. I live probably 20 minutes away from Pon. So I'm so excited catching up for lunch and we're going to have a really nice time tomorrow. So my journey, I suppose, I look at all you guys and I think you're all young enough to be my children. So I'm probably the mother hen amongst you, but a little bit about my background. So like Jeremy, I was born in New Zealand. I moved to Australia with my husband at the time and 2 young children 31 years ago. So I live on the beautiful Gold Coast here in Australia, beautiful place. So my background, pretty much I've worked for 31 years in corporate Australia as in a pharmaceutical role. I've been a pharmaceutical sales manager, pharmaceutical sales rep, educator, trainer. So in basically 31 years in one industry, which is the pharmaceutical industry. So what happened is, I was never, and I kind of look at you guys and I think, gosh, I wished I knew about this kind of thing when I was your age, because I was stuck in my corporate bubble. I was working 60 to 70 hours a week. I was being rewarded well. I was a top salesperson. I've had 18 overseas holidays paid for by companies. I've traveled to many countries in the world, paid for by pharmaceutical companies. I was very successful and I was earning reasonably good money. And I had people approach me along the way, although, online marketing wasn't around in those days because we didn't even have the internet. But when it started to happen, I had people approaching me all the time. And I used to say, look, go away and get a real job, because I'm a different era. I was educated to and brought up to work hard, and that's what I did. So I was working every week between 60 and 70 hours to create a pharmaceutical company's dreams, make them a hell of a lot more money than they already have. So what I suppose the turning point for me was about 5.5, 6 years ago. I was made redundant from my role, and it was the first time in my life I had been made redundant. And so suddenly I was earning really good money. I was earning, mid to high six-figure income. And suddenly overnight that income was taken. That income just went. I was fortunate enough, it only took me 3 weeks to find another job, but still I was stuck in my corporate bubble. So I started a new role, traveling, living out of a suitcase, earning good money again. But then I thought, you know what? One day I woke up and I thought, I've spent my whole life doing this. I've worked my butt off. I'm getting closer and closer to retirement. And one thing I say to you guys is, yes, when I was 30, it seemed like yesterday. And I'm basically double that now. And that time has gone nowhere. And my whole life, you keep thinking, you know what? It's miles away. I don't have to worry about retirement yet. It's miles away. Don't worry about it. But believe me, it will be here before you know it. And then suddenly you're getting older and you realize that working in the corporate world, somebody actually has the power over you to take away your income. And then you suddenly think about that more deeply and you think, when I retire, they're also my income's going to stop. I'm going to have nothing overnight apart from what I've saved, which is not a lot because I have an amazing lifestyle, so I probably spend as quick as I earn. And I have a husband that's in a corporate job and he earns good money. But I thought, you know what, maybe there's got to be more to my life because my retirement's getting closer. So I just started to get a lot of approaches. The universe opened up and I had people coming out of the woodwork saying, Vicky, join us, do this. And I thought, you know what, maybe I should try something. I've been telling people for years, go away and get a real job. Maybe they have got a real job and I'm the one that doesn't have the real job. So I started my online career in network marketing. The first company I joined, I was working 60 to 70 hours a week on my full-time job. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't listen to anybody because I was a sales manager and I manage people. So I struggled to come to terms with people telling me what to do. So I didn't listen. I just tried to do it all my own way. But having said that, I did extremely well. So in my first 2 months with that company, just doing what I thought was the right thing to do, I earned an Audi car bonus. I earned a trip, a holiday, paid holiday. I was earning reasonable money. I'm talking maybe $3,000, $4,000 a month on top of my full-time income. So I was doing quite well. Things went a little pear-shaped with the company, and overnight things changed and I decided to start looking for other things. I also discovered that it was quite important to maybe have more than one stream of income. So I thought, I'm going to start looking for other opportunities. So in a nutshell, I kind of dabbled in different companies. I never really had any guidance. I never had any mentorship. The guidance and mentorship I had was, hey, Vicky, all you have to do is find 2 people, and then you have to help those people find 2 people, and then you have to help those people find 2 people, and you have to pitch your product all over Facebook, and you have to post before and after pictures, and you have to hassle your friends and family. So along the way, I lost a lot of friends, and I became a real pitcher and a real Facebook spammer to the worst extent. I then met a lady in Sydney who is involved in affiliate marketing, and she was able to leave a really highly paid corporate role working for the federal government here in Australia to work online. So I connected with her because I've always been a believer in, if you want to excel in something or you want to succeed in something, hook on to somebody that's done well and connect with them and follow that person, because they're doing something right. So I just watched her from afar for quite some time, and I thought, this lady's doing well. So I reached out to her, and through her I became involved in some other affiliate marketing opportunities. As Sibi just said, I was being mentored, and I was kind of getting a grasp on it, and I started to make money, but it was all paid. So all the money I was earning, I was spending money for autoresponders, for funnels, for traffic generators. I was constantly parting out money. And in the end, I started to be spending more money on that affiliate program than what I was actually making. So I thought, this just isn't working. I really don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to give this up, and I'm just going to go back to my corporate job. But in the meantime, I'd been made redundant 2 more times over those few years. And then in October last year, I was made redundant again. And I thought, that's it. I came home and I said to my husband, no more. So I knew, though, I'm not really quite a retirement age yet, but I'm getting close. I still need to work, and I still need to have an interaction. And I've always believed in my heart that I was put on this earth to help people. I lost both my parents in a car accident. They died when they were quite young. And so I never had parents to grow up, and I was the eldest of 4 children, and I was always the mother. So I've always been a helper, a giver. And I've tried and dabbled in several different things, and I've made a bit of money. As I said to Jeremy, I've made a little bit of money here and there, nothing major. And then I'm not quite sure how this kind of came about, but something popped up, and I was following a couple of people, and I thought, you know what, I need to reach out and find out what this is actually about. I'd been following a guy here in Australia who started to post things on his Facebook page, and I reached out to him, and hence he connected me with Jeremy. So a week ago, less than it'll be a week tomorrow, I jumped on board, and I was really excited, and I thought, you know what, Vicky, you have got to change, because I was doing everything my own way. I was all over the place. I was making money, but I thought, you know what, if I actually listen to these people, take a deep breath, take a step backwards, and change everything, let's see what happens. So suddenly all I did in 2 days was change the things I was posting on social media. That is it. And I have a huge following on Facebook, and I have comments and things from people every day. But all I did was change the content. I did the training. I changed the content. Within 36 hours, I had my first sale.
Yay.
I was jumping for joy. And within another 24 hours, I had my second sale. So pretty cool. So to actually have 2 sales within my first 3 days, pretty much, was exciting. And that's, I said to Jeremy, I feel blessed, because I know that's what I've been lacking. I've been lacking mentorship. I've been lacking direction. I've been lacking help. And I kind of look and think, if I've made a bit of money online, doing it my own way, doing everything wrong, being the spammer, You know, being the pitcher, if I've actually done what I've done doing everything wrong, then imagine what I can do here if I do everything right.
Yay.
So that's my story, and I'm so, so excited and so blessed to be part of this, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Fantastic.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
sharing the journey with us and incredible results and success stories. And I'm sure that we will hear a lot more ongoing in our community here, because it's the results come to those who take massive action. Okay, it's typical for those leaders who never stop, who never quit. And you're gonna get to hear the next VIP guest that I'm so proud to present to you. And he's my brother in the making as well. Welcome, Samuel. Appreciate your time today coming on board. And please share the story with us and the journey. I know you've been through such a really, really hard time. And please share a little bit, whatever you can, with us. And you have a great success story to share as well. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for the introduction. By the way, thank you to everyone that's here and everyone that shared your wisdom and your value. You know, that alone to me, it's great refreshers and great reminders. And what I'm going to do is I want to take every single person here that's live and watching the replay. I want to take you on a journey. We're going to rewind the clock back to where it all started for me. So now I want you to imagine this. You're in your house, you're watching your favorite show. Seems like a normal day. Then out of nowhere, you hear a knock on the door. You open the door, and on the other side of that door, you see your mother in tears. She's crying. She's just saying words you don't understand. You're trying to comprehend everything like, whoa, wait a minute, what's happening? Well, that day, I realized that we just lost everything. We just lost our home. I sat down with my mom on the couch. I looked at her and I asked her, Mom, calm down. What happened? Tell me the whole story. And she basically said this: Sam, pack up your stuff. We need to leave today. We just lost our home. We have nothing but my car. So that day, right, I was still kind of like struck. It didn't hit me yet. I packed everything up. I slammed as many things as I could in my suitcase. I couldn't even take all my clothes. I had to take just whatever fit, wrapped it up, put it in the trunk. We got in the car, and in that car ride, it hit me. Holy crap. We're on the streets and there's nothing I can do about it. I looked at my mother and she broke down crying. We were actually going to her best friend's house because we had nowhere else to go. She broke down crying, and all I could do was watch her in silence because I didn't have the money or the finances or the resources or the connections to get us off the street. All I could do was just sit there. And that day, when we got to her best friend's house, I had to look at my worst enemy. I had to look at myself in the mirror, right in my eyes. And I had to accept, Sam, you failed your family. And I hated myself. That day, I realized I hated myself. I was taking life for granted. I wasn't actually doing something with my life to support those that I love. And it took me losing everything to finally realize I needed to make something of myself. And that's where my journey starts. So basically, once after that day, literally 2 days after, I started a job at a bread factory. Now, this was my first job. I never really worked in my life. I had quite an easy life because of my mother. I was taking advantage almost. And when I started that job, I was in for a surprise because I started working 12 to 14 hours a day. What I didn't know is that when you don't go to college, when you don't have any skills, you have to take whatever job you can get, whether it's working as a garbage person, working as a janitor, working as, washing dishes, whatever job you can see, you take it. And I took it. Now, I made a decision when I entered that factory, the smell of bread hit me. So I want you to kind of picture, imagine you're toasting bread. And now that you have that smell in your nose, amplify it by 10. That's how it smelled like in the bread factory. It was overwhelming. I made a decision that day. this will not be where my story ends. I will not be here forever. This is only a temporary step in my life. When I said that, I started to ask myself, Sam, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? Who do I have to become to get out of this situation and actually start living a life that I enjoy? The decision was very easy. I told myself, you need to start reading books. You need to start finding mentors. You need to start learning, because if you knew what you were doing, you wouldn't be here at this factory. If you knew better, you wouldn't have lost your house. You need to humble yourself and you need to face reality. And that's what I did. I started reading books like Think and Grow Rich. I think Eduardo talked about it. I started reading Think and Grow Rich. I started, taking every single paycheck. I would try to get at least $10 or $20 and either buy a new audiobook or start a new course that would teach me something about mindset. I needed to become a different person because I wasn't ready for success yet. I had too much garbage in my head and I needed to find the garbage and take it out. I needed to become the garbage man of my mind. I needed to take out that garbage. So after 2 to 3 months of just studying and really becoming a different person, starting to think differently, I realized, okay, I need the next step. I need to find a real mentor, because going the way I'm going to be in this factory for another 5 years before I can leave. And at that point, I was already sick of it. I was sick of the smell of bread. I didn't even want to eat bread anymore. I was sick that my feet were hurting for staying up 8 hours plus every single day on my feet. My feet were aching. I hated that I had to go home every single night and get a bucket of hot water and put my feet in it for at least 20 minutes every night, because if I did it, I wouldn't be able to walk the next morning. I hated the fact that it felt like I was walking on glass. I just hated that. I needed something different. And I also hated the fact that I knew if something were to happen to this job, I would have to face myself again. And I was terrified to face myself again. I would have to face the man in the mirror and tell myself again that I failed again. And I didn't want to do that. Because of that, I remember I was on Facebook one day, just scrolling through the timeline like we all do, and I saw this man. He was saying how a 17-year-old made $50,000 in 2 months. A 24-year-old made $10,000 in 1 month. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. These guys are near my age. Who is this man? That man is Darren Little. I reached out to him and I asked him, I was very straight. I said, Darren, look, I'm tired of my job. I'm tired of the factory. I hate the way I feel right now. I need something different and I want you to mentor me. Now, something you're going to learn about Darren, he's very straightforward. Real mentors that don't need the money, they're not going to BS you. They're just going to be straightforward. He said this, Sam, it's going to take some money and you probably don't have the money to get started. But this is how much, he told me the price, how much it's going to cost. And he told me this, if you can get that money and then come back to me and message me back, I will change your life. And I needed that. I needed to change my life. So what I did, since I didn't have the money in the beginning, I started working overtime. I started now pushing 14 hours a day. If I could work 14 hours in a day, I would work the 14 hours. If I could work on Saturdays, I would work every single Saturday, because I had a goal now. I needed to save the money because I needed out. So fast forward, month number 3 months after that talk with Darren, I finally had the money. I went up to my boss and I said, see ya, right? Not like that. I basically told my boss, look, I found something else. I feel like my potential, my skills are a better place, in another opportunity, but thank you for the job. I left we're friends now. I left the job and I started Millionaire Mentoring. I started Black Ops. Now, when I started, I want you to imagine this. Imagine you go to a beautiful, beautiful place like the Philippines. You plan on coming back 7 days after. But now imagine 7 days after the flight, there's no flight back. Like, you can't go back to your house. You can't go back to your comfort zone. There's no more flights. You're stuck there. So you have to make do with what you have. That's what happened to me. I didn't have a job anymore. Either this works or we're back on the streets. Everything was riding on my shoulders. I went to Millionaire Mentoring. I went into Black Ops with that mentality. 4 days, I trained. On day number 5, I made my first $1,000 in 1 day. And now I'll be honest, it felt unreal. I felt like, holy crap, is this real life? Is this actually happening to me? Well, on day number 6, I made another $1,000. My first 7 days, I made $4,000. From day number 7 all the way to day number 14, I was up $10,000. And from day number 14 to the end of the month, I made $23,000 my first 30 days. I made multiple 5 figures. I was interviewed by many, many leaders, now almost in the hundreds of leaders have interviewed me. I have, rubbed shoulders with multimillionaires and become great friends with them. And now, from literally this month to the beginning, I've been a full-time, not part-time, a full-time entrepreneur for over 1 year and 3 months. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. When I made my first $23,000, I realized something about myself. I didn't start this journey because of the money. I did not start this journey because of the money. The reason I did what I did and the reason I'm still doing what I do is because I wanted to look at that man in the mirror. And I wanted to tell him, Sam, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. And that's what drives me today. So that's basically my story. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Oh man, I get so emotional when I tell it, but hey, you learn these
right
when you
now.
start making more and more money, right?
Oh, thank you so much, Samuel.
So cool.
So proud of you, man. So proud of you. And I'm so happy that we are here in the same community and reach out and help other people every single day. And that's our purpose here. And we do what we do because we love doing it. It's not about chasing the money anymore. It's a change mindset since the Millionaire Mentoring. And I can't say I'm so proud enough to everyone here that sharing your journey with us. Now, thank you everyone for your contribution today. And this comes from the growth that we receive from joining this journey in this community in Millionaire Mentoring program. And it changed us in a good way. It changed us. I'm heavily into mindset today because this is the core skill that all of us have to learn. Without the core skills in leadership, guys, we're not gonna make it anywhere, online or offline, in any business. If you don't have any intention of growing your leadership skills, you might as well be an employee for the rest of your life. Stick with a 9-to-5 job. Okay, now I like to share my story. At first, I wasn't gonna share my story today. I want to just share everyone else's, but I got a request. Thanks, Vicky. So I'm going to share my story. Just a very brief one. So now, I actually worked a full-time job for nearly 25 years in Australia. I first started out, couldn't speak a word of English when I first came here. So I would like to help my husband earn income. So I get a job as a cleaner. And because the cleaner, we don't have to speak English, right? So we just do. We just go and clean and mop the floor and so forth. So ended up months later, I lose 4 toenails. 4 toenails. And then I think, wow, something got to change. I have to change. I have to do something for me, like get education so that I can grow and apply for a good career and do something else. I can't afford to lose any more toenails. And I did. I get myself into early childhood industry. And during that time, I'm thinking to myself, I cannot speak English very well. I will never gonna get a good job. I never gonna step up in the career ladder and become somebody in the executive role or anything like that. And that made me thinking, I can't afford to stay as a cleaner either. So I need to go to school. So I go back to school, getting certificate 3, and then getting my diploma in early childhood. And then I get a job offer as a team leader in an early childhood. And I thought, wow, it is possible for someone like me to lead a team in the industry that I'm in, that I never believed in myself that I could do that. So then I think I can do better. I can do better. So I go to school nighttime, I work full time, and I raise 4 children along the way. Some night I miss out dinner because all of those times spent on working full time and then go to study nighttime. And then come home, I just straight to bed. And that is a cycle of my life for many, many years. And then 13 years on, I get offer as a director of the early childhood centers. And then after that, I think I can do better. So I upscale my income to a lecturer at the university, teaching other people in early childhood industry. And that from the limiting mindset, the negative self-talk, I broke all of that because I need to change. Okay, that's a change, important change that we have to do to get you from A to B, get out of this box that you are in, the wall that you build around yourself. You got to break through to get out of that. Now, I then get offer the senior lecturer role in the university. And that's when the world start to turn into the turmoil in my life, because the university have the budget cut. And like Vicky experienced the redundancy issues, my team has got offered redundancy issues. And many of them lost their job that year. I got very fortunate to stay there in the university. However, the workload piled up on me, and that making me feel really, really uncomfortable in that little, spot that I'm in, because all the workloads pile up on me. So therefore, I start looking outside the box. I need to change. I need to get out of this situation. So I start looking up online. And during that time, my mom was diagnosed of cancer on top of that. So that's my world, just like, boom, I have to get out of this 9-to-5 job so I can free up to go and see my mom without, asking, begging for my boss to approve my holiday, right? So then I start looking up online and sign up with everything that I came across. And ended up, of course, a year later, I lost everything. All my lifetime saving is not just mine. My husband, superannuation, the retirement fund that he had saved up for a lifetime, it's all gone. And now, because the pressure is on, the disappointment hitting me, I start to hate myself. And I ended up, thinking suicidal during that time. So it's quite tough, a very rough, dark patch in my life. And then there's one day, there's some guy from Sydney. His name is Anthony. Never forget him. He's the one who reached out to me and say, would you like to work with the Millionaire Mentors? And then I say, okay, I would need a lot of mentoring, yes, because I lost everything during that time. And yes, God sent, just like God sent. Darren Little, Ari Maccabi, and boom, I sign up. First video I watched the Darren talking, I sign up straight away. And that's the best decision I ever made in this online business. And I kid you not, within 24 hours that I apply the strategy, the formula, I made $1,000. A few days after that, I made my second $1,000. And then, boom, the massive car crashed that almost killed the whole family, almost whole family. 5 of us in the car, and we just got, boom, high speed, head-on collision. And this is just over a year ago. And this week, the guy who hit us has just been caught and charged over a year later. They just found him, and now he served his time. And move forward from there, I recovered from the car crash. And then I'm, thinking to myself, I cannot stay in that deep dark hole ever again. I need to get out of this. So I returned to Millionaire Mentoring after I recover. And 6 weeks after I apply consistently apply the strategies, I took the strategy offline to apply to my own home business. And I signed up with $72,000 contract using the strategy that I got with the Millionaire Mentoring, how to be the attractive factor, how you can present yourself as a leader in your industry offline. So I successfully using that as my strategy to grow my own home business. And that's when I resigned from my position as a senior lecturer at the university I was working with and became the online full-time entrepreneur. And on top of that, the Millionaire Mentoring has taught me how to become the leader in online business. So I successfully became the top 6 on the leaderboard of the world-class company online in cryptocurrency industry as well. Never thought in a million years that I could have done that. And this Millionaire Mentoring program has taught me the leadership skills that you can apply to any niche, any business type that you want to do. Just believe in yourself and self-love, and you deserve it. Every one of us here, we deserve it. Abundance is everywhere in the sky, in the universe. It's up to us to tap into it and claim it. You own it. Okay. So now, how the new people can get involved in this business. Just before I start this, I would like to share a little bit. This year, I have changed. Again, I didn't want where I was living at the time for nearly 30 years. It's hot, it's humid, it's too, sweaty every day. And I don't look good on camera when I'm sweaty. So so therefore, I made the change. I got to move to Gold Coast, where I always go there for a holiday. So therefore, I moved to Gold Coast to live the dream. And here I am living the dream. And I just secured 2 contracts of my consultancy work. And now I'm working full-time online, having that income consistently. Thanks, Millionaire Mentoring Program. Thank you. Now, how you guys can get involved. Okay, this is for the brand new people. I just prepared this, just a brief information that I prepared earlier for you. And can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'm just gonna go to slideshow. All good? Can you see it? Yeah. Just move us down here. Okay. Now, Darren Little and Ari Maccabi are the millionaire mentors for Black Ops Underground Marketing. And thanks to these 2 gentlemen that help change lives, not just us here, but many, many people in our community. So I'm so proud to present these to, you know, to the audience and anyone who want to change their life literally. Literally. Okay. Now, two things that we focus on. One is marketing. Another one is personal development. These are our niche. Our niche, we have to get good at marketing. Okay, because it doesn't matter the services or products you have, if you don't have the skills in marketing, no one gonna see or know about you, right? So you have to have a good marketing skills. And our target audience will be people who in either already have the mindset that already sold in our industry, and they are in personal development, and they are the marketers. Okay. Otherwise, if you reach out to someone else who in a full-time job or, you know, at home people, they will have that kind of skeptic in mindset and say, oh, is it a pyramid? You know, or the scammer and things like that. You don't want to go out there and try to convince people, right? You are the leader. You reach out to help people, and that's what you do, right? So you got to get good at marketing and get really good at personal development and build that leadership in you to show the world that you are the leaders. Now, two things that you need in any business type, any niche. One is leads or traffic. Another one is cash flow. So it's okay to, you know, attract lots of people to come to you, but what do you do with these people? Most people don't know. So when you get paid advertisement, when you get told to do paid advertisement out there, you got lots of leads. But if you don't have leadership skills, you have no idea what to do with them. And that's very common. And then those leads gonna go away from you. Because if you don't have any knowledge to share or ability to help them to be good at what they should be doing, then it's no point. You're gonna end up burn your bank account like what I did. I lost a lot of money into paid advertisement because I don't know what I was doing at the time, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with those leads, right? Now, the secret here is there's a debt models that use directly straight out from out the gate to the paid advertisement without the knowledge, without the strategies. So sure, the big guru out there, the celebrity, they use paid advertisement, but they have a formula, they got the strategy to get their money back from cost, whatever costing them, they earn it back from the front end. And then they gain big money to the back end. But the debt models that I want to share with you is what I've been through is the coach will tell me, this is about a year and a half ago, you got to position yourself here. So I spent over 50 grand into a business that whole hard earned money that I've been saving up, pay for that program. And they don't teach me about how to become a leader, to take care of the people who join me or anything like that. So I also got told to use paid advertisement straight away. Now, I lose everything. And then our business model is the leadership model. Our Millionaire Mentoring program teach us how to become attractive factor, how to grow confidence, how you learn something, you implement it, get some results, and then you share it with other people. And then you get interview the VIP guests, you interview the top leaders in the industry outside our community. And you too gonna be seen as a leader yourself. So you hang out with people who, you know, have a big success before you. So you cannot stay as average, like top 5 people that you hang out with, you are the average of those. So choose who you want to hang out wisely. Okay. Now, how do we generate cash flow in our community? We partner up with the Genesis Educational Library, and that's company called Exodus Elite. And this company provide marketing products for us to use and learn from. And then once we learn and apply the mastery, these skills, and then we share it with other people. And there's a lot of niches in here. Okay. The next one is personal development. The audio interviewed all the leaders in this industry, as you can see here. Quite a few names that we already recognize. So they share their success journey and the strategy how to overcome their hurdles and challenges. Personal development audio, also the village. Discover the secret of the secret. These guys behind this, the creation of the movie, The Secret. So this is one of my favorite. Personal development in health and wellness. So you get these audios to study as well. Now, for those who take fast action today, we offer you the Millionaire Mentoring Program to be on top as a bonus for the Genesis Library package that you're gonna get. If you get to the G1000, you're gonna get 7-figure formula, the secret script that we all use. And when you grow as a top leader, you can, you know, alter the sentences, the wording a little bit to suit who you speak to. You're gonna get Black Ops membership. And you're gonna get a special Super Saturday training access. Now, as a tiny, weeny contribution from myself, you're gonna get access to my direct support Sundays, 6 sessions. And that's a one-on-one service to you. And I'm sure that leaders here also provide their value to their members as well. Yes. You're gonna get 90-day Millionaire Mentoring Training. And total is over $26,000, guys. Now, you're not gonna pay that much because we are here to basically help you get started. Okay? So to get set up for the $1,000 commission daily, you pay now $1,149, and that's covering the quarterly $99 for the Genesis Library. You're gonna get reseller rights for $99 quarterly, and the rest go to pay Millionaire Mentoring. Okay, so if you act now, click the button below or get back to the person who invited you here, and you're gonna get this price if you act now, today. So I would like to say something here in terms of leadership. There's a leader inside all of us. Okay, it's up to you to believe in yourself that you are the leader, and then allow yourself to get into this Millionaire Mentoring and explore the better version of you. You know, you got to have this mindset of, now, this is where I want to go. And here I am right now, right here at present. Why aren't you there yet? You got to see this. There's a gap. You need to close that gap. If you keep dreaming and sitting around under the coconut tree, drinking the cocktail, and then you just dream about it and don't even, want to do anything about it to change. So by all means, just continue to sit there and enjoy your cocktail. But if you want to change and have a better life that you deserve, your family deserve, then you need to step up into your leadership and take action today and be part of our leaders community here. Don't be those marketers who just, reach out and then say, hey, take a look at my link. We got to clean up our industry, guys. Enough of that. I was one of those, okay? Now, I want to ask you this. Victim or victor? I rather pick victor. You want to stay in the victimhood? Sure, your choice. You wake up every morning, feel sorry for yourself. Can you see these leaders on this panel here? We got one thing, at least one thing in common. We got many things in common, but at least one thing in common. We are not victims. We get up, we dust ourselves off, and we take charge. We take charge, we take full control of our life. We own our destiny. And we will not be defeated by whatever life throws at us. We've been through so many hurdles and challenges. I almost near death. Survived through it. Now, life throws bricks at us. Now, what we gonna do with those bricks? We should be using it to build the foundation as a stepping stone to get up. Go as high as you can go. Close the gap. Build the bridge to reach that dream goal of yours. So start today. Take action today. And don't be too harsh on yourself for trying. If you try and fail, don't give up. We are here to support each other. Live life, love life, and become the leader, the better version that you always earn it, you always deserve to be. Okay, so I love you all. Thank you so much for spending valuable time with us today. And to your success, so just get out there and make it happen and help more people in our community. Our planet needs us. So bye for now. Thank you for joining us. Until next time. Thank you.